Morning guys, it's Steve here with the Food Pilgrimage and we're in beautiful sunny Dorset. It's the first time we've been able to get out of London for about 6 months now. September was the last time we travelled anywhere, so it's so good to be out and the weather has really come out for us. It's beautiful. So we're in Swanage, which you can see behind us. I absolutely love this place. I've been coming here for pretty much every year of my life and yeah, really excited to show you. It's an absolutely beautiful part of England. So we're on the south coast and we're going to be walking along the southwest coast path. There's some really cool old historic things. There's an old lighthouse, there are old quarries and mines that you can go and explore, so we're going to go and show you that. And also then, for the food part of it, we're climbing up a really steep hill and there's this really cool old pub called the Square and Compass where they make their own handmade pasties and pies, and they brew their own beer and they make their own cider. Really cool food destination. My God, will you look at that view? Straight across to France if you go that way. We've been walking through this little forest on the edge of the coast path and there's a really strong smell of garlic in the air. Got a load of wild garlic in the forest. Oh, I wish you could smell that, it's amazing. These beautiful green leaves and these little white flowers. It's just all over the forest floor. It's such a nice herb. In Borough Market, just by where we live, we've done a few videos in Borough Market. They're selling it for £1.50 for a small bunch, but it's just growing all over the forest floor here. It's quite different to normal garlic. It's mainly the green leaves that you use, and you can use them in the same way as spinach, or you can chop them up and make sauces. It also makes a really nice wild garlic pesto. Wild garlic soup is another favourite. You just pick a load of the leaves, a little bit of onion. That's essentially all you need. You blend it and you've got this really rich green soup. And it's not particularly garlicky, it's not overpowering. It's mainly, yeah, it's very leafy and very fresh and very green. Almost like the smell of cut grass, I think. Oh, what an amazing smell. There's loads of these bollards from the City of London up there. They're all over the place. They're from the 1800s. There's some with dates on, like 1820, 1830. They're all along here. And we're hundreds of miles away from London. But the reason they're here is there were loads of old quarries. We're going to go and see them soon. And when those big quarry ships used to take all the rock up to London, the whole of the City of London is built out of the rock from around here. There's this really old, really good limestone, good for building. But when the ships came back, they'd be empty, and they were designed to have loads of weight in them. So they just took all the scrap metal from London to make sure the ships could survive in the really rough waves, so they had to weigh them down. So you've just got all this really old Victorian parts of London, hundreds of miles away on the south coast of England, just using them for fencing up there. Pretty cool. There's some old caves here. They were closed like 50 years ago because they're kind of dangerous. There's lots of rock falls, but yeah, I wonder how many bats and creatures live down there. You can see here where the rock's been cut flat, they've made these little platforms, and that was when the flat bottom boats that would take all of the stone up to London, they would come in, and when the tide was high they'd tie them up there and they'd wait for the tide to go out, and the boats would go down and rest on the bottom of the rock, and then they could load them up, wait for the tide to come back in, and it would float the boat up and then take it back off to London. These old walls are amazing. I've only ever seen them in the UK, but there's no cement or anything sticking them together. It's just the pure weight of the stones. And they're hundreds of years old, but they hardly need any maintenance at all. I've never seen them in any other countries. I don't know whether they are there, but that's a real traditional British thing to see. Dorset cows! I hope they're friendly because we're going to have to walk right through them. Of course they're friendly, they're lovely cows. Slightly intimidating, all staring at us. Maybe that one's not.
Uh-oh.
Just give them a second. Keep going.
Yeah.
We've been walking for about 2.5 hours now, getting quite tired, but this is a really cool place. There's loads of people climbing. There's rock climbing going on all along these cliffs and right down by the sea as well. It's a bit scary for me, but these guys seem to be enjoying it. This is a really special place. This is called Dancing Ledge. So we're about 3/4 of the way through our walk now. And this is another place where they used to bring in those flat bottom ships. You can see how it's all the rock's been cut flat. This is such a special part of the world. I mean, everything about it, this whole coastal environment, you know, even down to the plants and the soil and the rocks, it's all so special. It really doesn't feel like England to me. It feels like it's like south of France or Mediterranean or something. Although there's quite a big black cloud coming in, so I hope we don't get rained on. But fingers crossed the sun comes back. But I've got to get to that pub. I'm getting really, really hungry. I'm imagining that pasty. We found some more of these old quarries. You can really climb inside these ones. It's kind of creepy. Oh wow. Wow, it's very quiet in there. Feels kind of dangerous, like some rocks could fall in on you. But it's amazing. It's very quiet and very cold. Oh wow. So this is all the rock that they dug out and took to build the City of London. And I think St Paul's Cathedral was built with this rock as well. But it's just left the most amazing caves held up by these pillars. Imagine the men working down here 300-400 years ago, carving these blocks out and just leaving those little pillars to hold the ceiling up so they didn't get crushed. I'm glad they did. quite spooky. I wonder if any bats live in here at night. There's lots of water dripping from the ceiling. You can hear it splashing on the rocks. God, look at that. Old 300-year-old pieces of wood holding this huge rock up. Doesn't seem safe anymore. There's a huge fossil here. An ammonite, like a Jurassic snail embedded in the rock. There's loads of fossils around here. This part of the coast is called the Jurassic coast because there's so many dinosaur fossils. It's quite a warm day today. It's really hot out here. I've had to take my jacket off, but when you're in there it's freezing. It's amazing. Oh, what a cool cave. But I'm getting very hungry now. It's been like 3 hours since we left the town. So we've got to get to that pub and we've got to get that pasty. Let's go.
Hiya.
How does it work?
Right, first of all, you're looking at probably half an hour, 40 minutes at least, yeah?
That's alright.
So, and then anybody in your group over 16 must track and trace, either with the phone or with me. And then I'll give you a menu and a ticket with a number. Go and find somewhere to sit. Staff will come out and call the number, make yourself known, and they'll serve you at your table.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Alright, but bear with us, as you can see, we're snowed under.
Yeah, of course. Nice to be busy. It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah. Well, it's just a shame we can't accommodate everybody.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, but yeah.
So you like a menu?
Yes, please. Thank you. Fantastic.
We'll try and get to you as soon as we can, but we're snowed under.
Sorry, no worries. Thanks very much.
Right.
It's a noisy chicken. We've just arrived at the pub. We're at the Square and Compass in a little village called Worth Matravers. You've got to love Dorset village names. Worth Matravers. It's a funny one. I'm sure it means something in old Dorset language, but I've no idea what. So it's absolutely packed at this pub. It's only outside, they don't do inside, and there's a queue of like 40 minutes wait to get served, but it's going to be worth it. So there's also only 3 things on their menu, which is nice and simple. They've got a steak pasty, a vegetable pasty, and a cheese and veg pie. So a pasty is kind of like this savoury pastry full of meat and potatoes, so it's like that big. You'll see soon when it comes. It's like a real crusty pastry. Yeah, nice and simple. That's a proper menu, just with 3 items. And we are absolutely starving after that walk. So something I forgot to mention, that walk was along the southwest coast path. So it's a really famous footpath in the UK that goes all the way from Dorset, right round Devon and all the way around Cornwall, up to North Cornwall. I think it's something like 700 miles, and it's a huge walk all around the coast, and it's a beautiful footpath, as you just seen some of the footage from it. We only did maybe 5-6 miles on it, but it goes right the way around the whole southwest of England, so it would be nice to do one day. Stop in all the local pubs and eat the local seafood and grass-raised beef and lamb and all the delicious food you can find in British pubs. So we've just done a short section and we really feel like we deserve these pasties now.
The pies and the pasties.
Yeah, please. And then,
any drinks for you guys?
Yeah, one of the elderflower cressy.
Yeah.
And a lemonade.
Lemonade. Okay, do you want the lemonades a half or a pint? Right. And ice and lemon on both of those?
A very small bit. Like.
Perfect. Okie doke. And do you want your sauces with your pies and pasties? What, ketchup, mustard or brown?
Big crust and mustard, maybe?
Yeah, I'd have mustard.
Cool. Be right back, guys.
Cheers. Our pasties have just arrived. I'm super excited. And they're quite different to the famous Cornish pasties. These are Dorset pasties. If you haven't had one before, they're kind of unusual things. It's just like a big piece of savoury pastry, look. And it's got like meat and potatoes and carrots and onions. There's a little hole there so you can kind of see it. It's got them all wrapped in it. And it's a really traditional sort of working man's lunch. They used to be, like, look at this one actually, this is a good example. They've got that sort of crust, like crimped on the top, like squeezed with your fingers on the pastry. And if you were down a mine, like mining coal and copper and stuff, and you had dirty hands, you're supposed to hold onto this bit, eat all around it, and then you just throw that bit away at the end. You don't eat that bit. So yeah, they're like really, really traditional working lunches, and it's supposed to be an entire lunch all packed into one. So you've got meat and potatoes and vegetables and sauce and gravy, just everything packed into this one pie. So we've got a steak pasty, which is this one here. And then we thought we'd try one of their vegetable pasties as well, which is this pretty one with the nice crimping down the middle. And they had one more thing on the menu. They've only had 3 items, so we thought we've got to try the third one. It's a cheese and potato pie, was it, Ida? I think it was cheese and potato pie, which looks amazing. It looks like some sort of Greek phyllo feta thing, but an English pastry version. And we've also got some English mustard to go with it, because we thought that would be the natural combination. Okay, let's give it a go. I'm going to go for the steak one first. God, there's a lump of pasty. Probably weighs like half a kilo. A bit of mustard. That is good. After some hard work, like a really long walk, or some hard work down the mine, that's exactly what you want. So you can see what I mean. Meat and potatoes and carrots and everything just wrapped in pastry. It's delicious. It's so hearty. And it's such a thick lump as well, like it's so heavy and there's so much in there. Delicious. So you've got beef steak, little slices of potato. Very, very good. I can definitely know why there was such a long wait for the food. It's so traditional and it's so classic, and you've got to come to a really, really old pub right out in the country to get this sort of food. And the mustard's great with it too. Definitely was the right choice to have mustard over ketchup. We're just eating our pasty and a chicken's jumped up here to join us. She wants some. Bye bye. Okay, steak pasty was very good, but now it's time to try their vegetable pasty. And the mustard was great with it, so we're going to have mustard again. This is exactly the sort of food that you want when you're tired. Oh, that one's different. I think it's got like kidney beans in it and stuff. Beans, potatoes. Oh yeah, I actually really, really like this one. Look at that. That's so different. Yeah, I didn't expect it to have beans in. And sweet potato, I think too. That's a great combination. It's like a modern take on a pasty, actually. Very good. Yeah, like a modern vegan version of a traditional Dorset pasty. Well, that really works well. God, I was so hungry after that walk. That English mustard is really fiery as well. Needs something to cut through that heavy pastry and all the vegetables, and yeah, that really hot, spicy English mustard. Does the job perfectly.
Oh my god.
Hungry. I think she likes it too. What do you think, Ida?
It's great. It's very different from the first one. And the pastry, because it's vegan, it's quite different. And it tastes a little bit like Indian curry or something. I don't know why, but it's great. It's delicious.
Ooh, oh my god, she just took it out of my hand. There's chickens all over this garden. Look, she just came up and took the last piece of pasty out right out of my hand. There you go. Oh. Okay, third item. Cheese and potato pie. Well, looks good. Look at that, it looks really moist and cheesy in the middle. Perfect. Oh, that's good. Really good. The cheese is a really welcome addition after those two heavy pasties. Something a bit different, really moist. So simple. It's just potatoes layered with cheese inside pastry. There's nothing else to it, but it's delicious. Really hearty. Very good. I'm starting to get full after all this very heavy food. But great. Try and show you. The pastry is very different on this one to the vegan one, because this pastry's traditionally got animal fat in it. I think they make it with lard. So this is a traditional one, but the vegan one was obviously maybe olive oil or something. So this pastry is much thicker and much heavier. Delicious, but not very healthy.
I love this one.
Really different again, isn't it?
There's just so much potato in it, and it has a bit of sweet corn as well, and a very soft taste, but yeah, very filling, very hearty.
Hearty is the word for all this food, isn't it? If you've been working in the fields, you had this for your lunch, that'll fill you up. I'm finally full. That was delicious. Real hearty food. Hearty is the word for today. So if you enjoyed that video, please do us a favour, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We're going to have lots more videos like this coming up and some travel ones soon. Thanks so much for watching.